Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Freeze, and today I want to take a look at a combiner. I've been meaning to make this video for a while, but then with the content patch and everything, I just wanted to see how everything was going to shake out. So today I'm going to talk about Predaking and Volcanicus. And the reason for that is on my Discord channel, I've had a couple of people after the rework say that Predaking and Volcanicus are still not good. So I'm going to do some of my own tests. Obviously, I tested it in play test, but I want to try a couple different strategies that I think may or may not change some people's minds. So we'll start off looking at the abilities. And the first one is called Infernum Blade. Tooltip reads Leap in the battle, striking enemies in a small area for 1,860 damage. Keep in mind all of this is for the level 25 Predaking 5-star that I'm using. I'm using this on the playtest server because I get a lot of questions about why do I have so many coins or different resources. So this is from playtest. And it says here, upon impact, fire a flame wave in front of you, dealing again 1,860, but this time it's fire damage and knockback for all enemies in its path. Enemies already on fire take double damage from both the leap and the flame wave. That's huge for me because anytime I see this enemies that are taking additional damage, you already got my, you already got me curious at that point. Right, so the 3-star ability is called Fire and Brimstone. It says set enemies on fire within a cone and deal 539 fire damage, and it does ×3 damage to outpost bots and combiners. Um, so, um, it does that for 8 seconds. That's another one that's huge. Anytime you start hearing me, or anytime I start to hear anything about extra damage to outpost bots and combiners, um, you already got me hooked because that's kind of where we were at with like knockout and skids. And I've always been excited about that stuff because one thing that you're guaranteed in each battle is that there's a good chance you're going to fight, end up fighting outpost spots. So these two could work really well together. So we'll look at that. Then we get the 4-star ability Extinction, which says bombard an area with meteors, dealing 558 fire damage per second for 12 seconds. Stand in the meteor shower grants a 60% damage reduction shield, and leaving the area retains the shield for 5 seconds. So when we first started working on this in playtest, one of the concerns was that if you did all of the damage that you needed to do and you cleared that area, there's a chance that you might actually leave the area that's going to give you your reduction shield. So they made it retain the shield for an additional 5 seconds. So it means you got about 7 seconds to play around inside the shield. But if you wind up clearing everything within that 7 seconds, you still get some protection left. So that's a great move on the part of the team to add that part in there. And then for the 5-star ability, you got your Empowered Megatronus. For 20 seconds, surround yourself with an Empowered Megatronus, gaining plus 50% attack speed. And then another damage reduction shield, this time at 30%, and dealing 428 fire damage over 8 seconds. And then this is going to have your after death effect of giving a level 20 Megatronus to your bots in battle for 15 seconds after the combiner dies. So, all in all, on paper, sounds really good. Let's go over to the battlefield and we'll take a look at a couple of different tactics to see how it shakes out. The first strategy I want to try will be against my good friend and fellow playtester Parker Pax. And what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at his outpost, and I'm thinking that's something that I might be able to try, like a Flame War sack who is Afterbreaker for you guys on the Autobot side. And so my focal point will be to try to clear out this front section of the base. I want to isolate our combiner in Predaking Volcanicus. And when I do that, the goal is to keep the combiner from taking a lot of damage while dealing a lot of damage to outposts. So for that reason, I'm going to try it with a sack. Alright, so try to clear out as much as I can. I do got a MDS over here, and I am going to go ahead and use that ability. And I popped most of the outpost bots, so he did get stopped a little bit short. But I think I cleared myself some room to where I don't have to worry about taking too much damage here up front. So I'm going to start off getting him shielded, and then I just want him to just kind of see how he does against some of these outpost bots. Now I've already got my outpost bots on fire. Get him a little bit more damage reduction here with the empowered Megatronus and get his speed up a little bit. So yeah, I got all the abilities off. There's still quite a bit of health left on those outposts. Well, I mean, it took away quite a bit of damage too. So I'll probably try it again on a couple more. I'll probably try it again on a couple more base designs and see what happens. Or I might actually try a second strategy I got as well. So let me clear this out. So the other thing I'm thinking is, and I think a lot of people's beefs with where combiners are right now is that they want to do a lot of damage to the base. So I think what I may be able to do is set it up so that I can jump into, maybe I can jump into the ability so I can go get my shield and jump into that 2-star ability. So I'm gonna try it like that. I'm gonna try it on this same base and see how that works. Now the caveat to that is obviously you have to get rid of your fireproof dome build bots, which I typically naturally do anyway because I am using, well, I didn't get rid of the one on this side earlier, so that probably didn't help my case. So I'll make sure that I do that this time. All right, let's see. So this time, I think I'll start from over here. Now I'm gonna actually use my drop my team here so that I can get all of my guys, all of my bots on the team working with. I want to get them working along with Rodimus Unicronus, which is Inferno for you guys on the Autobot side. And I'm gonna go ahead and run that sack. Get those outposts popped. I'm gonna run the ability closest to the top. Now I am taking a lot of damage from that MDS. Let me see. I just want to really see the damage that it does in the area up there. And so yeah, it does pretty good at clearing the area. I mean, I messed up by leaving that MDS standing, but I think that that strategy might actually work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go switch up to another base, and I'm gonna try this again. So let's go find another base real quick. All right, so this time I'm gonna go up against my good friend Dread 81. one of our newer playtesters. Shout out to him for that. And my focal point here, I do want to try to clear out some of this front, but what I'm probably going to try to do is also get rid of this Nexus Prime core. I definitely can't afford for Predaking to take a lot of damage here. Honestly, well set up base, because I say I'm pretty sure he recognized that and put his Liege Maximo core up here in the front. So we'll see how that goes. So I'll probably try to approach from that Liege Maximo side here. And I will start out for that purpose with Dreadwing. And then bring my team down. Now, one thing I have been doing is I've been working on getting my team, like my bots, my rush tanks, getting them set up with a good amount of anti-hack to try to help me out. But what I want to focus on is after I get some of my main, my main defense is cleared out, I want to focus a little bit on that jump strategy. And let's see, if I look in the back here, and he's even got an MDS back there, so I might try to hold off for a second. And I probably should have Flame War sacked here so that I can get some outpost pop, but I don't really need to. So I'll try to push up a little bit with my warrior. I'll use Armada there. Let me see how much of the back I can actually clear here, because I got a couple of outpost bots there. Alright, so this time, and this is actually good because they actually shield it right now. And I'm going to jump into that area and try to get some of the double damage. And then I'm going to try to double down on that with the Megatronus. And he's actually holding up pretty decent. I know a lot of people said they didn't really care for his rework, but it gives you some opportunities to do some good amounts of base damage. And a part of that for me is like when you're trying to get high levels of base damage like that, it should come at the trade-off of health, in my opinion. So honestly, I find it pretty balanced. That's pretty balanced, and it did a decent amount of damage. I mean, I put him right there in the middle of a healing cluster. And the only one only one I lost is my sack bot that's a little bit underpowered, even though I didn't use it for sack. So I think I'm going to try to get at least one more example. So let me go find one more base to try to fight against. I'll try to fight against my buddy Action Whale. Alright, so in this case, a lot of the outposts are in the back, so it might be a good example of both. So I'll try to path through this one normally. I'll try to take out one side, probably the left side, let my team path to the right, and then as I start to get closer to the top, I'll have a lot of the outpost bots and possibly the shield cluster left. And I don't need the sack for that at all. So I will switch back to, I'll switch back to Nova Prime, which is Vector Prime for you guys on the Autobot side. I will give him... I'll use my Micronus on him. But right now, I'm really looking for survivability. Like, you know, I actually, if I was going to do this, like, completely, like, in a war situation, I might approach it a little bit differently. But I think a lot of people are just kind of looking at the glass cannon aspect. It's like, yeah, he can do some damage, but, you know, he can't take much damage, which I find accurate. I do want to give him the opportunity to get back there and damage some outpost spots. So let's try that out. I'm gonna take out my fireproof dome there. And I also want to try to take out this. I gotta get rid of this Nexus core if I'm gonna use a combiner that it can't take much damage. So, and that'll actually help me take out Prima as well. And then I gotta watch my team's path then because I waited so long to go use my fire. So what I'll probably do, and it looks like I'm losing Rodimus Unicronus. So I'll just use that as another chance to get rid of the fire build bot in the back. And right now this shield isn't charged, it doesn't look like, so that does not help. But I'm gonna try to pop as many outposts as I can here. And then I'll go ahead and drop Predaking. Alright, so I want to try to get here, even though it's not shielded. I do get a MDS there that... Nah, I took it out. I mean, it was vectoring. I mean, I think with good tactics, it does all right. Cause I said I set everything on fire, and then I'm gonna try to get this other MDS, and it's gone. Give me a couple of. See if I can squeeze in one more jump. I don't think I'm gonna make it, but I want to zoom in on the health. It actually did quite a number on the outpost there, and what was left of the health, and I mean, it cleared out a pretty decent area there. Yeah, I like it. I think it's war worthy, and I'm kind of wondering what kind of effect this might take um, in events, especially with people concerned about God Neptune and everything, and Ruination. So let me just try a regular battle with Predaking. I'll do it in the prime zone. Um, you know, obviously this is not gonna be mayhem mode, but I'm kind of curious as like if I can clear out just huge chunks. If I can just clear out huge chunks here. And so this base actually isn't overly difficult, so I'll probably try this a few times. But I think that same tactic of jumping into... Oh yeah, that'll work. I think that habit of jumping into your damage reduction and then doubling down on your fire might be the way to go. Maybe this would be something that and I should have tried it this past weekend, to be honest with you. I didn't, because I didn't hit the event very hard. I was really trying to fine tune what was going on with God Neptune and Ruination. But I was like, I'm gonna actually try to go back. I'm not gonna go after headquarters. I'm gonna try to see if I can destroy as much stuff as I can during this time. And I actually got a second use of his little shield there. That's pretty cool. So I'm wondering if this becomes our event binder as well. I mean, like I said, this base right here isn't overly difficult, but I destroyed a bunch. I actually did some damage to HQ as well, but I mean, it's still destroying stuff down here. And then left it like with only a little bit of health. So let's see. I'll just drop one. I'll just drop our Armada Wheeljack to try to cover. I still got a minute left. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, he's going to run into some outposts up there at the top. And I wouldn't have Titan help in an actual situation like that. And I accidentally dropped Rodimus Unicronus, but I mean, the damage here is done. That base is about to go. So yeah, let me try this a couple more times, see what happens. And I said, hopefully I can draw a tougher base in here for a regular attack, trying to simulate having mayhem mode. Because I think that's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest issue that people have with a lot of the combiners is like, look, can you destroy like huge chunks of the base? And that's like, if you can, then that's something that's really going to work really well for your events. Now, we're still going to have our problems with elimination mode. But I mean, honestly, elimination mode for me is bonus material. Like I get most of my Z Energon from wars or from dispatch missions. And even the dispatch mission part is hit or miss for me. But yeah, I mean those are huge chunks. Those are huge chunks of defense going away for. Now, granted, it's gonna be times where they're gonna have legitimate war bases out there in mayhem mode. But I mean, he just covers so much area. Like, look at the. I just used that ability, and I still only had like I didn't have too many defenses left on the bottom. So I think this might be the guy that I start to use for my events. I really wish I would have tried this weekend. Now I started working on the video, and my muscle memory kicked in, and because of that, I wound up using God Neptune anyway. And I was like, I don't want to wait 25 minutes to try to make this video. So I said I'd come back to it on Monday morning. Alright, but this one doesn't have a Titan on it, so the Titan's actually destroying a bunch of stuff in the back, so it's not going to be the most accurate simulation, but I can definitely focus on the back half of the base and jumping into it. As you set this stuff on fire, and then just give yourself a little bit of a health boost here. Well, not a health boost, but a damage reduction. You can jump right into the stuff that's already on fire and do additional damage. These are just such huge areas that are coming off, though. And like I said, I've used them in wars, but the way that I used them was like that first way that I showed it, where I'm just trying to fight outpost bots. But like, This might be something I can use for events. I mean, I still got a lot of stuff down there on the bottom, but if I could leave the bottom there from whatever bot I'm using to try to power level, they can clean up the bottom. If I can get Predaking up to the top, then maybe that's the go forward for events. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. If you got a different experience or if you have something, a strategy that works well for you, then maybe I can do that on my live stream. And so, I'll be streaming on Thursday at 7 uh, Eastern Standard Time, like I do every Thursday. And if you got something, then I can address it then. But overall, I don't understand how anybody is saying this dude is garbage. It's pretty awesome. I mean, like I've used him, but I think I have been using him wrong. If I'm gonna be honest with you, like now, this is actually a decent representation. A decent representation. It's not like perfect. I got shields that are actually working, stuff like that. I mean, I'd see something like this in an event. It's not gonna be perfect. You're not gonna have a hologram sitting up there destroying huge chunks of the base like you would with God Neptune and Ruination, but see if I can get the HQ down. HQ down. I mean, I still had some defenses, but like I said, my bots can take out the defenses on the bottom. So yeah, I think this is something that you can use um, easily in wars and in events as well. So, but let me know what you think. Like I said, I'll follow up on this. If anybody has any suggestions, I can follow up on that on Thursday and make that part of the live stream material. But anyway, um, thanks for watching. I'll see you Thursday for the live stream, and I'll see you in the battlefield. Freezius out.